Carrots and merits, everybody. What is good? Welcome to Wait Forreel. I'm here with some old and new guests today. Here to talk about Bottle Caps, the new exciting documentary.
Wait, for real?
As I take a swig of water, Luke, I am your father. We are back. And today we are talking about some interesting things. But before we get into that, the meat, the bones of today's episode, I like to go around and talk to our guest. So, first, I would like to speak to Ella. Ella Tudor. Is that how you say it? Is that right?
Tudor, yeah.
Tudor. Okay. And it's not professional or like Tudor or anything like that. Okay. So, I have a question for you before we get into the movies or anything. What's better, Tuesdays or Thursdays?
Thursdays.
Thursdays? Why Thursdays?
It's acceptable to drink.
Okay. What?
Thursday night.
Isn't Tuesdays the club going up, though?
No. That's a lie.
That's a lie.
On a Tuesday.
No?
No.
Wow.
Club's
Interesting.
not going up.
Okay. And what was the last movie you saw? If you can think back to that.
Last good movie I saw, will settle for that,
Yeah.
is Always Be My Maybe.
Oh, okay.
Ali Wong, Randall Park.
Yeah.
Fantastic rom-com.
Out of 15, what would you give it?
25. It was great.
Whoa. Okay.
Love
Okay,
it.
let's go. Scale. You're breaking the scale.
It was great.
Dang. And so, what news do you have for us today?
Okay. Bring up my news story. Well, they just signed for another season of Atlanta, which I have conflicting views. Great show, makes me sad.
Makes you sad in, like, which way?
The plots are, they're sad plots. I feel like, because they're dealing with real issues and, like, things that are real, but that I might not experience from my day-to-day because I live in Seattle.
I feel it. Kelly,
I agree with her 100% because, like, half of them, they're funny and stuff, but, like, every single one has, like, a dark little undertone, like, every single situation. Like, that one episode, second season, homeboy was trying to take his girl out with, like, because he got paid and all this.
That was so real.
And he's trying to talk to some people, and then the dude is like, oh, got a gun. I'm like, why are you just showing that off to random people like that? That's just, it made me
Sully,
sad.
have you seen Atlanta?
Yeah, I've only seen the first 2 seasons, although the one episode I, like, distinctly remember is the one with Cat Williams when he has the crocodile in his house.
That was a Florida Man episode. Yeah, that show's good. I mean, I love Donald Glover so much. He's my role model, so anything he does, I'm like, I gotta watch it. Except sometimes I won't watch it in theaters, like Lion King. I haven't seen it yet.
I haven't seen Lion King
So,
either.
I don't know about that. But anyways, Kelly. What do you think Don Cheadle is doing right now?
No idea.
No idea?
No.
You telling me you don't know what the Chan Deedlester is doing right now?
Why would I ever know? Maybe making a new music video with Kendrick Lamar? I don't know.
He's just on that stage right now?
Maybe getting ready for trying to be the new Iron Man when you know he's not going to be because he got Spider-Man, but whatever.
You think he's gonna be mad about that?
Him personally? No.
Yeah? No? What do you think Don Cheadle's doing right now, Ella?
Probably, like, sitting in a pool of money.
A pool of money?
He seems
Women
like
that?
the kind of guy.
Interesting. Kelly, what's
Like, he
your...
wants to see it.
He's pulling that full Scrooge McDuck, just diving
Yeah.
in full point.
That's not gonna work. That is fictional. That might be something I bring up later. No, I won't do that. Kelly, what's your news?
News, Ian McGregor got signed back on for some more Star Wars.
Really?
I'm not 100% sure which it's going to be, whether it's animated or actual film. But all we know is we have some good stuff to look forward to.
I heard they're gonna do a show with him.
I think so.
A show?
An Obi-Wan show.
An Obi-Wan?
Where he's hunting down Darth Vader, Darth Maul.
Sounds done.
I thought Darth Maul's dead.
What?
Darth Maul is dead.
Darth Maul's not dead.
In the Rebels. Cut that fool up. Yeah. No lie.
Who cut him up?
Obi-Wan.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're doing a live action version of that.
Oh, it's live action.
Yeah.
You made it sound like it's going to be animated.
No. They're bringing him in for a live action Star Wars thing. Mm-hmm.
A live action Star Wars series.
Because I knew that fool already got cut up because he stepped on a man's. That's it.
Ella, are you a Star Wars fan or anything?
I enjoy them.
Yeah?
There's too many of them. I haven't been able to keep up. I feel like they come out with 2 Star Wars related films a year.
What's too much though? Because do you watch Marvel?
No, I also
okay, so you just don't like
opinion.
Okay.
Is that I just can't keep up. 23 of them, I think.
Yeah.
There's too many. I'll support Black Panther.
Mm-hmm.
And I try to see Wonder Woman.
Okay.
I wanted that to do good in the numbers, but
I mean, it did the best out of all them.
Yeah.
Is that saying much though? We beat the other DC movies. Okay.
So Sully, what's the last show you saw?
Last show I saw?
Mm-hmm.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I've been rewatching that.
Oh, okay, from the get-go, or
Yeah, I started from season 1 and then went through all of it.
I did that in April.
A couple weeks ago, yeah.
Yeah, that's good. What's your favorite season so far?
Oh, favorite season?
Mm-hmm.
I think season 5. Season 5, because that was the last season they were on Fox.
Oh, yeah, before they moved to NBC?
Yeah. And I have a feeling that the writing changed a lot, or kind of a lot.
Are they married in that season, or are they engaged?
I think that's
engaged, right?
They're engaged.
Yeah. The season right before that is fantastic.
Season 4, yeah. Season 4 is when they get engaged, but season 5, season 5 is the one where they get married. And because then season 6 they are married, and that's I think there's a honeymoon episode in that one.
Interesting.
Well, my show's great either way.
Yeah, very good.
I agree with that. What's your news for today?
Alright, so, as you know, I am a very big Game of Thrones fan, and I was entirely disappointed in the last season.
Completely?
Yeah.
All the way through?
All the way through.
Have you guys all seen the last episode? I haven't seen any of it, so I don't know anything about Game of Thrones.
Yeah, you're missing out, but disappointing.
Seasons 1 through 6, great show.
Yeah,
fantastic. I will rewatch those episodes pretty much whenever. Season 7, it starts to get a little rocky, but it's still pretty good. Season 8, it starts out pretty strong. Those first 2 episodes are really good, and then episode 3, and then pretty much everyone after that is just
dang. And why? What happened?
So that's when they really start going off script, because the show had always been a little different from the books, just because if you've read the Game of Thrones series or A Song of Ice and Fire, it's just thick. There's so many more characters, so much more detail, but and just for logistics reasons, they can't cover everything, and so I get that.
Yeah,
but around season 6, season 7, season 8, that's when they really start going off script and just everything starts just spiraling out of control. And so once they get off of George's writing, it's super apparent that they don't know what they're doing.
Really?
Yeah. Which I don't blame them too much, but it's still really disappointing to have one of your favorite shows just eat shit and die at the end.
So what does that mean for was it Weiss and
it's Dave Benioff and D.B. Weiss.
So if they went out script and started to suck, what do you think is going to happen with the show?
Well, I don't know, because the news is Netflix picked them up for a 5-year, $300 million deal. But then I also heard that their Star Wars deal might be coming through because of all the negative feedback from season 8. So I'm not sure why Netflix bid that much for them, especially when they don't have that good a PR right now. Especially when I feel like there's better writers out there, but I don't know.
All right, that was the end of our first segment. And now we're going to be on to our next segment after this break called Bring It to the Table.
Yes.
Wait. I don't want to hear it. All right. Welcome back to Wait for Wheel. Whoa. Jesus. Welcome back to Wait for Real. We had a lot of fun already with news and oddly personal questions. But now it's time for the main segment. This segment will bring understanding to lost moments in movies. Those things where just that didn't make sense to me. Or something you just argued about till 3 a.m. with your best friend. You're like, this is ridiculous, you know? So, we're going to start off with Sully. You got some beef or something? want to bring it to the table?
Okay, so my beef is with the Fast and the Furious movies.
Okay, wait. Is it all of them or one of them?
It's kind of all of them. It's more just kind of like the timeline they have set up of Fast and the Furious and just like how everything happens.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I get that. What was it? The first one came out in the 90s, right? Something like that.
No, it came out in 2002 or something.
What? No way.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus.
Everybody whip out the
Fact
phone.
check. Fact check.
2001.
Damn it. Alright. Well, either way.
Look how good I am. Anyway, so it comes out in 2001, right?
Yeah, okay, so it came out 2001. I get that part. But then, what was it? So Fast and the Furious 1, I'm like okay with. It's like a decent premise, entertaining movie.
It's
whatever.
pretty much Point Break, but...
Point Break, but cars.
Yeah, but cars.
The second one had Ludacris in it.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool.
No Vin Diesel, though.
No Vin Diesel, but see, I think that was good because Vin Diesel was still like weird Vin Diesel at that point.
Triple X Vin Diesel.
Yeah, Triple X
Pacifier
Vin Diesel,
baby,
the pacifier,
Vin Diesel.
exactly. He had to get that out of his system before he goes back into the Fast and Furious. So that one happens, and then Tokyo Drift happens.
Yeah.
And apparently that one goes back in time.
Yeah, apparently that one came out in like... Actually supposed to come out in 2014 or 2012.
Wait, what?
Mm-hmm.
I thought it went back.
Yeah, no.
It went forward?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, see, but then that still doesn't make any sense, because Han goes to the United States after that movie. So that means he came to the United States before then?
Yep.
So then...
I watched a whole video on this timeline like a couple days ago, so I'm ready. Are you ready, Sully?
I don't know how you're so confused.
Well, okay, so then, Paul Walker.
Yeah.
So, first one, he's a cop, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then he becomes not a cop, because in the second one, he's basically not a vigilante, just an outlaw. Right?
I thought he was still a cop in the second one. He got downgraded.
No, he got roped into it, but he's not a cop. He's like working for them just because like that's how he's gonna earn his like freedom. Third one is Tokyo Drift, but Paul Walker's not in that. And then the fourth one, he's an FBI agent.
Mm-hmm.
And then the fifth one, when they go to Rio, they're just not police officers anymore, and they're just running around in Brazil. It's just like, all right, well, what's happening now?
What's your beef, Sully?
My beef is that it doesn't make sense what year it is.
So you're telling me mad that
they've
put
been
years
driving
in
for
this?
19 years.
Hey, you can drive for 19 years.
What I'm confused about is you didn't know Tokyo Drift was before.
I knew there was a time skip. I thought it was a prequel.
But
Somebody said it was a prequel. I was like, okay, I guess that makes sense.
That makes no sense. Because have you not seen 6?
Yeah.
6 is literally him dying when they start off with Han dying.
I thought that was 7.
7, 1, 2.
Yeah, no, 7 is like...
I thought 6 ended with it and 7 started with him dying.
Yeah, because then you see Jason Statham come in.
Yeah.
Bish.
Look here, I'm Shaw.
Yeah, wait, so 7 is the one where Shaw's the bad guy? I thought that was 8.
Yeah.
I feel like the most confusing part of that movie isn't the timeline. It's like how the fuck we're just gonna...
Turn the superheroes out of nowhere?
You know,
Well,
take planes off of airplanes
Yes, that's...
and fucking...
That's also my complaint.
Turn to the
Because
A-team out of nowhere.
in Fast 8, when they're driving on like the ice caps, and it's like that one James Bond movie where they're running away from the space laser. I was like, all right, time out. You don't know how to drive that.
Yeah.
You don't. Ludacris does not know how to drive a monster truck with snow tires.
Whoa. Ludacris doesn't let drive anything he wants to drive. That's Luda, baby.
Luda coming in, it's over.
Anybody.
I think you're tripping on.
All right. So timeline abilities of each individual member. Oh, and at the end of I think it's 6 because that's when they're friends with The Rock.
Mm-hmm.
They get their house back. Did they just kick the other people out, or like was nobody living there?
It was under investigation, and
The entire house.
just about. It was based for like not drug, but thievery and all that good stuff.
So if we're going for the timeline, they locked it down for like 16 years.
Touche.
So, I think you're the only one who cares about the timeline on this one.
You gotta keep it continuous,
Nobody
otherwise
goes
it all breaks
to
down.
Fast and Furious movies to get the timeline right. You're there to see fast
No one's
cars.
like, all right, what year is this one in? Let me look for the little subtitle that says it for me.
I'm trying to make sure it's continuous.
Fair enough. Yeah, I always do. That was good though.
Sometimes it's Jim Carrey, sometimes it's Marvel.
So I see your points with that, Sully. Ella, what brought you here? What are you gonna bring to the table?
Well, I feel like mine is also a timeline issue.
Okay.
But mine's with Fantastic Beasts 2, which is the Curse of Grindelwald.
Oh, okay.
And, alright, let me just set the scene. I get it, it's a spin-off, so if the continuity isn't, like, perfectly there, I would get it. But this had so many issues that it was hard to watch. So let's say this. So Jude Law is playing Albus Dumbledore. So the time goes back.
Yeah.
Now, they do a flashback from that movie further back in time, and Professor McGonagall is still old as fuck. So, I'm confused.
What? Is this true?
Yes, this is 100% true.
Oh my
So, like, basically
God.
17 years before. So she's supposed to be 17 years before Jude Law, and she's still played by the same person. And so you have Professor Dumbledore, who is Jude Law, and then still Homegirl, who's the same age. And then, spoiler alert.
Yeah, go ahead.
The main dude is related to Albus Dumbledore, I guess. But it doesn't make sense. It's like, when was he supposed to be born? But then he's also was abducted by the Lestrange family. There's just too many.
Whoa.
They try to they try to really set up the next movie to be like, what the fuck is about to go down in the third movie? Like, I'm really gonna go see this. But they try to add too much people. And they just try to interweave people into some weird incestual, I'm not really sure.
Harry Potter incest.
And it just doesn't make sense.
Jesus. And Kelly, you can confirm this.
Yes, everything she said is real shit. It's trash.
Do you have the same beefs, or?
Yeah, I just feel like it was a nothing movie. Like, nothing really happened. They went around just hunting this one dude, but like, I don't know.
Hunting down albino Johnny Depp.
I was gonna say it's probably Johnny Depp's worst film.
Yeah, really?
Probably.
Whoa.
I wouldn't say that because he got some bad film, but all I'm saying is
Pirates 5.
Okay.
Pirates 4.
No, 4 is good. Whoa.
Pirates 4.
He didn't. Even if he was like one of the main people, he was just shit, and he wasn't like as charismatic as they were trying to make him out to be. He was supposed to be this super suave, get everybody on his side. Yeah, but he's just this old, really
super bad cult leader. Like, it's hard to believe that he got that many people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, to be the second most evil wizards of all time. Yeah. Voldemort really outplayed him,
and he didn't have a nose.
Right.
I was only half his career.
That was only half his career.
But no, yeah.
Damn. Well, I thank you for bringing that to the table. Honestly, I can't back up Fantastic Beasts. I haven't seen it, and I don't want to back it up either way.
The first one was so good, so I just feel like
I like the first one.
Was so good, and I was like, oh wow, like what a solid spinoff. Like spinoffs are hard, you know?
Yeah.
Like it's more like I was like, oh, Fantastic Beasts didn't feel like let's make more money, right? The Fantastic Beasts 2 were like, okay, we really are
the
just
hunt for more money.
The hunt for more beast and money.
Yeah. Fantastic. The second one is just 100% just trying to set up the whole next movie. It wasn't a good enough thing. It was something you could show in like a trailer and then get the third movie.
Right.
But yeah.
Oh wow.
Dang.
Like, isn't this not supposed to be like 4 movies or 6 movies? But they're making it into that anyways?
I thought it was just the one, and then I saw the trailer for the second one, and I'm like, all right, I guess I was wrong.
They're making it 3.
Based off what? Don't they only have like 1 book on this?
Yeah, but the book itself wasn't even a book. It's just like one of those like glossary books that has all the, like the names and shit.
So she's just really just making shit.
They're doing The Hobbit. Ooh, my voice just cracked.
The Hobbit?
The Hobbit. Making 3 movies out of 1
book.
Right.
That's true. They made 3 movies out of The Hobbit. They split that bad boy up.
Apparently, there's like some edit that somebody did where he put all 3 of the movies together and cut about all like the weird bullshit with like the white orc and just basically nothing in nothing the story. Yeah. It's like 5 hours long, but it's basically condensing 3 movies into
I'd watch that.
Yeah, I'd watch that.
Damn. Well, just a long movie.
I mean, 5 hours down from however long the
probably like 11
3 original movies were.
You wouldn't find me sitting down to watch all 3 movies.
Some people do it. Some people do those marathons. So Kelly, what's your beef? What do you bring to the table?
All right, so This is some beef I've had for a while. You're aware of it.
Yep. I've had some arguments about this before.
My beef is with Captain America in the Endgame. If y'all ain't watch it, stop listening. 'Cause this nigga goes back in time to give everybody back the goddamn stones and everything, and then shows up old. Now, that's a nice, cute ending of a story and all that, but it don't make sense. Because if everything they change is in a different universe now, how the fuck is this old man the only thing that shows up?
Because that's a whole new universe you're watching.
No, it's not. Because there would have been so many different... Thanos is dead!
So?
Thanos in that universe is dead!
You can have just one universe where one thing, only one thing changes.
No, you can't. Because that breaks every single law they made in the film.
Nah.
That's your argument. Nah.
So, what do you think? What do you think about the time travel?
I hate the time travel.
Why do you hate the time travel?
Time travel doesn't make sense!
Time travel doesn't make sense. Why does it not make sense?
Steve Rogers does not know where the Soul Stone goes, does not know where the Thor Dark World stone goes. I always forget the name of that one.
The Ether, or whatever it's called.
The Aether.
The Reality Stone.
Reality Stone. Yeah, doesn't know where the Reality Stone goes. Doesn't know where Mjolnir goes, but that one I can slide. But then, the biggest thing, like Kelly said, he goes back in time, so that means he's in a different timeline. Yeah. You can't be in the same timeline and go back in time. It literally puts you in a different timeline. Yeah. And so now, all the events that had Captain America don't exist, because he went back in time. If he's in the same timeline and he goes back, it means he's just back there now, because he's with Margaret, right? And so if he's with Margaret, he can't... Peggy. Yeah. He can't get frozen in the ice caps and become Captain America at the end of the first.
What if he comes back after he gets frozen in the ice caps and just lives a second Steve life?
Doesn't make any sense.
Apparently that happens.
Okay, you're confused too.
See, this is what time travel does.
Because what's happening is he's going back because he already fought himself in the movie. So him existing in the same world where he already exists isn't a beef. The beef is him showing up in the world where Thanos snapped. Because in the world that they went back and took everything from, there is no Thanos, and Thanos will never snap. And there's nobody to collect all the goddamn stones. So, but none of that happens in the original timeline. But for some reason, this nigga old man still shows up. And I just don't understand it.
Now we're on the same page. Okay. Now I'm with you.
Ella, what do you think?
So, I've taken the stance that not seeing any of these movies is a personality trait. So I'm just kind of running with it. You know?
Okay.
Honestly, I kind of wish I did that too, because my movies just make me upset at this point.
Time is fleeting, alright? I only have so much time.
True.
We use the time stone, go back, watch it all again.
Oh my god. But
wow. You're stupid.
But what time travel do you guys want? Do you want like the Back to the Future?
No time travel.
You want no time travel?
I'm okay with time travel if they stick to their own goddamn rules. Because Back to the Future somewhat stuck to his own rules.
Yeah.
These guys, they did not. There was this.
I feel like they're mixing a loop with Back to the Future. It's like a loop and Back to the Future.
Well, they tried to do it like Time Cop style, where if you see yourself from the past, you're gonna explode. But then Steve Rogers fights himself, and it's like, all right, no, that's not how this works.
So how does this relate compared to like Terminator?
I didn't see Terminator.
I think Terminator works because they're only going back in time. They can't go forward.
Yeah.
But then with the time stone, they can go both ways, and that's where the problem comes in. If you can go both ways, you need to have rules. But if you just go back,
you know that they're not using the time stone to go back and forth, right?
Well, the intention was to have Steve come back to their timeline, remember? But then he just never did that.
Yeah, with their own thing, but not with the time stone. The time stone's not part of any of that. The time stone's destroyed.
Oh, well,
have you seen this movie?
I find. Well, I just assumed time stone was a part of it, but fine. They're time machine. Is it really better that the time machine doesn't accept the time stone? They work effectively the same.
I'm just saying.
Fine.
Well, I don't think we're ever gonna solve that one. It still kind of makes sense to me. So we're gonna move on from that and go to our final segment for the day, which is glass or ass, or ass or glass, glass or ass or ass. Alrighty, Spidey, before we end today's show, of course, we have to deliver some glass or ass, or ass or glass or ass, or anything that you suggest. Today we're gonna have our guests deliver some recommended or unrecommended shows, or TV things, or movies that they watched in the previous months or year. So, with that, Ella, what's something that's glass or ass that you've seen?
Alright, so some glass is Fleabag.
Ooh, I heard about that.
I just binge watched it.
Yeah.
And I'm rarely, very, very impressed with TV shows, especially comedies.
Yeah.
It's a dark comedy, but it's very, very funny. And I think that the pilot, people might not get it, but half a season in, you just finish all 3 seasons.
That's true. Did you like the fourth wall breaking?
Yes, it made me uncomfortable at first, but it's so different that it makes the show really unique.
Yeah.
And it's written and starred by Phoebe Waller-Bridge.
Yeah.
And she's just brilliant.
I could have sworn she helped write a Marvel movie or something.
She's in Solo.
So
she's in that.
Yeah.
I don't know what character she is, but I know that she's in that, and that's tight.
Yeah.
That's a range. You know?
Yeah. I heard that the fourth wall breaking makes you uncomfortable because you're don't talk to me. Instead of Deadpool where you're on the same side with them, it's more ugh, I don't want to be part of this conversation with you at this moment because it's awkward conversation.
She breaks the wall while having sex.
Yeah.
And in uncomfortable situations where you just are already uncomfortable, and then she turns and talks to you.
Yeah. That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
I love it. So what would you rate out of 15?
This is a solid 15.
Okay. I like it. Awesome.
Solid 15.
So, Kelly, what's your glass or ass?
Straight glass. The Boys
Ooh.
on Amazon. It's dark.
Yep.
It's brutal, but it is great. It hits you with some actual decent story that I wasn't actually expecting, because I was expecting just straight violence, usual stuff. But good story, good world building, and good characters. The characters are the best. My main guy, I can't remember his name right now.
Homelander?
Nah. Homelander's a trip, though. I love his actor, too, because he played in Banshee. That's one of my favorite shows ever, but...
Shout out to Tony Stark.
Yeah, that's a, double glass, just BT dubs.
Double
Banshee.
glass!
Just slide that one in there real quick.
But, yep, The Boys. Check it out.
What would you rate out of 15?
Ooh, cool. 14.5.
Ooh.
Just in case.
Alright, Sully, what's your glass or ass?
Alright, this one's an older movie, because I remember seeing it when I was a lot younger, when my mom ordered it off Netflix, and we actually had the DVD for it. Netflix was a DVD service.
Damn.
But you guys may have heard of it, because I honestly didn't think this movie existed for the longest time, because I thought it was a fever dream I had. It's oh yeah, this is just something I saw. But it's a Tim Burton movie, which is why I thought that. It's called Big Fish.
Big Fish.
Oh, one of my favorite movies of all
Yeah?
time.
How do you not just instantly remember that? Because that is the best.
That's literally one of the best movies ever.
I actually haven't seen it. Sully, can you explain it to me? I haven't seen it.
Alright, so it's about this guy. He's reconnecting with his dad because his dad's in the process of dying.
Yeah.
But he's trying to get to know his dad better, because the premise is that his dad, he basically lived this super not ordinary life, but he would only tell it in super exaggerated stories. And so he's trying to figure out what's real about his dad, what's not real about his dad. And so he basically goes through every story his dad ever told, trying to figure out what's real, what's not real. And it's basically just him bonding with his dad that way. And I'm not gonna spoil it, because if you haven't seen it, it's a really good movie.
Yeah.
But finally rewatching it again, it's oh my god, I actually understand what's happening, as opposed to when I was 8 or something like that when it came out. It's it's a really good movie. It's before Tim Burton got really Tim Burton.
Oh, okay.
But it does have Helena Bonham Carter in it, but it stars Ewan McGregor and not Johnny Depp this time. So.
Oh. Okay, and Ella, you seen this?
It's a tearjerker. It's literally one of my favorite movies.
It gets really sad near the end.
I literally, I always cry in movies, but this one, I'm just, bawling crying.
Damn.
Oof. Just pulls at your heartstrings.
Kelly, you seen this too?
Of course. if you ain't seen it, you were screwed.
Oh, I'm a scrub.
But no, it's a great movie. Because they do little tidbits of like other exaggerated things, like how when you see somebody you love, time stops. And he does a great one where he starts walking through the crowd.
He's like weaving through popcorn and moving everything out of the way.
And then he plays off of that. He's like, oh, but the thing they don't tell you is time catches up with you and she's just gone. And I was like, oh, shit.
Damn.
It's just a real good cinematography and all that kind of stuff. It's a great movie.
Oh, and it's on Hulu.
It's on Hulu, okay.
Hulu.
It's on Hulu. And Fleabag, it's on Amazon. And then...
The Boys is on Amazon.
Amazon.
Killing it.
I said that.
Amazon is killing it. All right, that is our glass and ass. Yeah, that's our glass and ass. So before we leave, let me just ask my guests what they about to do. So Kelly, what you about to do after this?
You say that like I'm not going to be hanging out with you.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Ella, what you about to do after this?
Today's Sunday, so this is my stand-up comedy day at Laughs Comedy Club down in the U District. I do that Sundays and Wednesdays.
Wow. Yeah, I should check that out. What time is that in?
That's at 8 p.m.
8 p.m. Okay. Sully, what you about to do?
I got a shift in a couple hours.
Oh, exciting.
I can't say where I work because that's a no-no for them.
That's a no-no for you. All right.
Hey,
well,
I'm gonna shout out my work. 2 minutes in the truck.
Hey.
Give me that raise.
All right. Well, that's our show for today. Make sure to follow us on Instagram and listen to us on Spreaker. This is Wait For Real. Deuces, my gooses. Thank you. 45 minutes. All right, that's the end of the show. Make sure to leave a comment, like, share, and subscribe to this episode. You can find us on any platform, especially Spreaker or Spotify. And make sure to follow our Instagram at Wait For Real with 2 R's and 2 E's. And don't forget to follow our fellow channel, Blunts and Blockbusters, on Instagram as well. Thank you so much, and make sure to watch a movie today.